Dear students, welcome back to today's session. Today we are going to discuss about rules and laws of Boolean algebra. And the contents of our discussion are history of Boolean algebra, and we are going to discuss about what is a Boolean function and its terminology related to it. After that, some of the Boolean laws and theorems. Okay. Now we'll start with the history. George Boole is the scientist who discovered the Boolean algebra, and he also called as father of Boolean algebra. And in 1854, he introduced a systematic approach to logic variables. George Boole is introduced the systematic treatment of logic expressions, and he developed a mathematical tool for solving these logical expressions that is nothing but Boolean algebra. It is named after his name. And we now discuss about what is a Boolean function. Boolean function is nothing but a Boolean expression which is described by a Boolean expression. Boolean expression is also called as logical expression or algebraic expression of logical variables. Logical expression of or algebraic expression of logical variables, and it consists of three things. What are they? Those are binary variables. The first thing is binary variables, and the second one, the constants like 1 or 0. We are having binary constants as 1 or 0, and also logical operands which we discussed in the first unit, that are AND, OR and NOT. Okay? Boolean function is nothing but which is described by a algebraic expression, and this algebraic expression consists of three things. One is Boolean binary variables, and second one is constants like 0 and 1. Third one is logical operands. Let's see a example of Boolean function. See, in this expression, this one is called as Boolean function. And the expression which contains the variables is called as a Boolean expression. It is often called as logical expression too, but precisely it is called as Boolean expression. And going into the terminology of Boolean algebra, each combination of variable is called as a term. It's called as a term. So, particularly this example contains three terms. What are they? It's A and BC bar and ADC are three terms. Okay. After that, in this function, it is a function of four variables. Those are A, B, C, D. So, these are called variables. Okay. Now we introduce another term called literal. What is it? A literal. So what is a literal? When your function is having four variables, or let's generalize it to n variables. When your function is having n variables, then you are going to have 2n literals. Okay? Literal contains variables and its complements. So, if a function contains n variables, it is having 2n literals. N are variables itself, and rest n are the complement of the variables. Let's take for this function f, the possible literals are A, B, C, D, and A bar or A complement, B complement, C complement and D complement. These are the 8 possible literals for this function. But what the function contains are the actual literals the function have. See, this f of a, b, c, d have these terms and each term contains combination of variables. So, what are the literals we have in the function a? Okay. After that, b bar, c bar, other two literals, and after that a, d, c. A already came, so d, c are other literals. So, what are the literals the function contains now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The function contains 5 literals. Okay. So, this is the terminology of Boolean function. So, I am recapping it again. So, Boolean function is nothing but it is described as a Boolean expression or algebraic expression. And Boolean expression contains three main components, which are binary variables and constants like 0 and 1. These are nothing but binary constants, and after that logical operands and or not. And taking an example, this is called as a Boolean function, and which is equal to a expression. It is an expression of logical expression. Often it is called as Boolean expression. Okay. In the Boolean expression, you are having a combination of variables. Each combination of variable is called as a term. So, in this particular example, you are having 3 terms, and the function contains some variables. So, here the variables are a, b, c, d. So, this function contains 4 variables, and another term related to the Boolean function is literal. Literal is nothing but variables and its complements. So, for any function, the possible literals are 2n if the number of variables are n. And the literals which are present in the Boolean expression are the literals of the function. Okay. We will now see it through an example. And every Boolean function can expressed in 2 ways. Okay. This Boolean function can expressed in 2 ways. What are the 2 ways? One is SOP, another one is POS. We will see what is SOP and what is POS. SOP is nothing but sum of products. Okay, and PO is nothing but product of sums. By the name indicates, the product terms are summed together, or n terms are odd together. Okay, product terms are summed together, otherwise end terms are together. So, by taking an example, I am going to discuss about this SOP of an expression. Let us take an example. F of ABCD is this expression, A plus BC bar plus ADC plus AB bar CD. Now, this is an SOP form of Boolean function. Why I am calling it as an SOP form? Because the product terms are summed together, or ended terms are odd together. See, every this function contains 4 variables, that is f of ABCD is nothing but A plus BC bar plus ADC plus AB bar CD. Now, this function, this particular function is called as SOP form of Boolean expression. Why it is called as SOP form? Because the terms are product terms and those are summed together. The product terms are summed together. That's why it is called as SOP form of Boolean function. Now, we will see what is exactly the product terms. See, this BC, if you see, it is nothing but B dot C. Okay, let us take this B bar and C bar, and after that A dot D dot C. This dot indicates AND operation. So, these variables are ANDed together. This is nothing but ended term. Okay? Ended term. And these ended terms are summed, nothing but odd. So these ended terms are odd. That's why this Boolean function is called as sum of product form, otherwise it is called as SOP form in short. Now we will see the number of literals and number of terms. Let's see first number of terms. How many number of terms are there in the Boolean function? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this particular Boolean expression contains 4 terms. 4 terms. Now we'll see about number of literals. Let's take this as b bar dot c bar for this instant. So what are the number of literals? A, comma b bar, c bar. A came as again, so we are going to ignore it. D, C, again A, so we need not to write. B bar is also there, C is also there, D is also there. So this particular function contains these literals. What are they? A, B bar, C bar, D, C. So how many literals are there in the function? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number of literals are 5. But what are the possible number of literals? Possible number of literals are nothing but 2n if n is the number of variables of the function. So number of variables are 4. So the possible number of literals are 2 into 4, that is 8. 8 possible number of literals are there. So now we are moving on to the next form of Boolean function, that is nothing but POS form. So what is a POS form? It is nothing but product of sum. So here the product sums are summed together. So here in the POS form, the sum terms are producted together, which is nothing but the R terms are ended together. Let's see an example. See, this is an example of POS form. So the function, the 4 variable function as before, f of a, b, c, d, and it is the Boolean expression. So if you can see here, these are sum terms, are R terms, and these R terms are ended together. Nothing but, see, this b plus d bar is nothing but the OR combination of b and d bar, and this a bar plus b plus c is nothing but OR combination of a bar, b and c, and these terms are ended together. These terms are ended together. That is nothing but product of sum terms. Product of sum terms. So this is another form of Boolean function. So in this, if you see, we'll follow up like this, number of letters and number of terms in the POS form also. So now if you calculate the number of terms, if you count the number of terms, this is one term, this is another term, and this is third term. So 1, 2, 3. So this particular function contains 3 terms. This function contains 3 terms. Now we count the number of literals presented in the function. So let's see the number of literals. The first literal is A, and then B, A, B, and then A bar. Okay, B is also there, B is already there, so I am not writing it again. And C, after that B is already there, and D bar. So the number of literals, if you see and if you count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number of literals are 5. And again the number of possible literals. Possible literals are 2n, that is nothing but 2 into 4, 8. There can be a possible literals in the function as 8, but we are having 5 literals in our function. So this is about what is a Boolean function and its terminology like terms, literals and variables. I hope you understand the difference between variables and the literals. Now we move on to the actual Boolean algebra. So we'll start with a laws of Boolean algebra and then we'll discuss the minimization through Boolean algebra. So Boolean algebra is nothing but a set of rules which are used to minimize a given Boolean function. So Boolean algebra is nothing but set of rules and theorems which are used to reduce or simplify our Boolean expression. Now we'll move on to the one by one law and then we'll go to minimize the Boolean expression. So coming to the first law, that is complement law. So to understand this law, we are now recap the Gates truth table. Okay, we already learned AND, OR, NOT gates, which are logic gates of basic logic gates. Now this complement law is related to NOT gate. So, NOT gate is having a symbol like this. Okay, if this is input A, then output Y is nothing but A bar or A complement, or you can call it as A prime. A prime. So coming to the truth table of this NOT gate, so the input is one variable A and the output is nothing but A bar or A complement. If one variable is there at the input, the possible number of combinations, input combinations are 2. 2 power 1, that is 2. So what are the input combinations? 0 or 1. Okay. NOT gate, a complement is nothing but inversion or invert. So 0 complement or 0 bar, it is nothing but when we give input 0 to the logic gate, then the output is 1. Okay, and when we give input as 1, then the output is 0. So if you understand this truth table of NOT gate, we'll move on to the complement laws or the 5 laws of complementation. The first law is one's complement is always 0. One's complement is always a 0. Coming to the next law, zero's complement is always a 1. Third law, if A is 0, then A bar is 1. Okay, and the fourth law is if A is 1, then A's complement is 0. And the last and important law of complementation is A double bar or double complementation of any variable or term is the variable or term itself. So these four laws need not to explain because we know that one's complement is always 0. Okay, invert is nothing but 1. If we invert 1, then it is 0. If you invert 0, it is 1. So, and if A is 0, we know that from the truth table of NOT gate, if A is 0, then A bar is 1. And if A is 1, then A bar is 0. And the fifth one, A's double complement is A. A double complementation of any variable or term is the term or variable itself. Now, we see how it is possible. If A is 0, then what is A bar? A's complement, 0's complement is nothing but 1. Then what is A's double complement? If you complement the A again, A's complement again, that is nothing but 1's complement, A's complement, A bar whole bar, right? So 1 bar again, it is 0. So if A is 0, then A's double complement is also a 0. Let's take another combination. If A is 1, then A's complement is 0. Then A's double complement is nothing but 0's complement. 0's complement is 1. So if A is 0, A is 1, A's double complement is also 1. So by that we can say that double complement of any variable is the variable itself. So these are the 5 complementation laws. Now we move on to the next law, that is OR laws or AND laws. So the next law is AND law. To understand this AND law, we will first understand the AND gate truth table. So coming to the AND gate truth table, the symbol of AND gate is this. AND gate can have more than two or more than two inputs. So let's take 2 input AND gate. If the inputs are A, B, then output Y is A dot B. This is the output, and the truth table is, there are 2 inputs, right? So the possible combination of inputs are 2 power n, that is 2 power 2. 4 possible combinations are there in the input. So the input variables are A, B, and the output is Y is A dot B. So what are the combinations? 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. If you AND 0 with 0, the output is 0. If you AND 0 with 1, the output is 0. If you AND 1 with 0, the output is 0. If you AND 1 with 1, the output is 1. This is AND gate truth table. Now we will move on to the AND gate laws. AND laws. So what is the first law? A variable ended with 1. Okay, let's take a variable as A. A dot 1 is always A. A ended with 1 is A itself. See, the possible combinations of A is 0 or 1. Let's take 0, 1 possible combinations in the truth table. If A is 0 and it is ended with 1, what is the output? It is 0, means A only. Okay, and if A is 1 and ended with 1, the output is 1. It is nothing but A only, right? So a variable ended with 1 is nothing but the variable itself. And coming to the second law, A dot 0, a variable ended with 0 is always a 0. See, A, either it is 0 or 1. Either it is 0 or 1. These two see, these two combination. If A is 0 or 1, when it is ended with 0, what is the output? A 0. Always a 0. A variable ended with 0 is always a 0. The third one, A ended with A. A variable ended with it, the variable itself, then the output is also the variable. Let's see. The variable is 0, ended with 0, ended with the variable itself. If A is 0, then A dot A is nothing but 0, 0 combination. For 0, 0 combination, the output is 0. If A is 1, what is A dot A? 1 dot 1. 1 dot 1 is nothing but 1. So when we are ending the same variable, then we are getting the output as the variable itself. So A dot A is A always. Now the fourth one, A dot A bar. A variable ended with its complement is equal to 0. Now let's take an example. If A is 0, then what is A bar? Is 1. So A dot A bar is nothing but 1 dot 0. So what is 1 ended with 0? Is 0. Now the next combination is, if A is 1, what is A bar? It is 0. Now A dot A bar is nothing but 0 dot 1 or 1 dot 0. So 0 dot 1 is nothing but 0. So when a variable ended with its complement, the output is 0. So these are the 4 laws of AND. What are they? A dot 1, a variable ended with 1 is a variable itself, and A dot 0 is always 0, and A dot A is A. A dot A bar is 0, means a variable ended with its complement is always a 0. Now we move on to the next law, that is OR law. To understand this OR law, we will first understand a OR gate. Okay? So the OR gate symbol is like this. It can also have more than 2 input, 2 or more than 2. So let's take 2 input OR gate. The 2 inputs are A, B. Then output Y is A plus B. Okay. Let's see the truth table. Of course, there are 2 inputs, so 2 power n input possible combinations. So 2 power 2, those are 4 input possible combinations. So inputs are A, B, and output is A plus B. Okay. And input combinations are 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. For 0, 0, 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. And 1 plus 1 is 1. So this is the truth table of OR gate. Now coming to the laws of OR gate are, first law, A ORed with 0 is A. See, A, either it is 0 or 1. When it is ORed with 0, what it comes? As A, because it is 0 and 1. So it is nothing but A itself. So when A is ORed with 0, we get result as A. Now the second law, A ORed with 1. So we will see what happens if A is ORed with 1. A either 0 or 1. A either 0 or 1. When it is ORed with 1, we get the result as 1. A either 0 or 1, when it is ORed with 1, we get result as 1. Okay. Now the third one, A plus A. When A is ORed with itself, let's take if A is 0. Okay, then A plus A, what happens? 0 plus 0 is 0 only. 0 plus 0 is 0. So when A is 0, we got the result as 0, means it is nothing but A. If A is 1, then A plus A, what happens? Nothing but 1 plus 1. So 1 plus 1, 1 ORed with 1 will give 1 as result. So it is also nothing but A in this case. So when a variable is ORed with itself, then the output is the variable itself. Coming to the fourth law, that is A plus A bar. A plus A bar. When a variable is ORed with its complement, let's see what happens. If A is 0, then what is A's complement? Is 1. So A plus A bar is nothing but 0 plus 1. What happens? 0 plus 1 is 1. Okay. Now let's take if A is 1. So A bar is 0. 1 complement is 0. Now 1 plus 0. So 1 ORed with 0 is nothing but 1 itself. So in either case, in both the cases, we are getting the output as 1. So when a variable is odd with its complement, the output is 1 always. So these are the 4 OR laws. What are they? A plus 0, a variable, any variable odd with 0 is the variable itself. And next one, a variable odd with 1 is 1 always. And next one, a plus a, variable odd with itself is results in the variable itself. And a variable odd with its complement is always a 1. And coming to the next law, that is a commutative law. So this commutative law is nothing but it allows the change in the position of variables, position of and or variables. We'll see the meaning of this statement. What is the statement? This law allows change in the position of and or variables. Coming to the first law of commutative law, that is nothing but a plus b is equal to b plus a. Now see the statement's meaning. It allows the change in the position of and or variables. This is a r operand. Okay, these are the r operands variables. Now by changing the position of these variables, see b come in the position of a and a come in the position of b. So by changing the position of r variables, it doesn't change the functionality of the expression. So if you change the variable's position, it doesn't change the functionality of the expression. In the second law, it is nothing but a dot b, or a ended with b is equal to b ended with a. Here we took an AND operator, and by changing the variables of AND operator, by changing the position of the variables of AND operator, it doesn't change the functionality of the expression. See what it means. So we are having an OR gate, okay? We are having an OR gate, inputs as A, B, and the output is Y. By changing the position of the variables, means if you change the position of the variables, the output didn't change. Either A ORed with B or B ORed with A will give the same result. Let's check at least one law in the truth table. See, A, B are there, output is Y. So for 0, 0 combination, the output is 0. For 0, 1, output is 1. For 1, 0, output is 1. For 1, 1, output is 1. If Y is A plus B. Now let's see if Y is B plus A. What happens? First B comes, after that A, right? For 0, 0, for 0, 0, that is 0. For 1, 0, because it is B plus A, right? For 1, 0, output is 1. For 0, 1, for 0 and 1, the output is 1. For 1 and 1, the output is 1. So by changing the variable positions, the functionality of the expression didn't change. So this law allows the change in the position of variables of AND or operands. Okay. In the same way, you can prove this through the truth table. A dot B is equal to B dot A is equal to This is about commutative law. Commutative law allows change in the position of AND or variables. Now we'll move on to the next law, that is associative law. This associative law allows grouping of variables. We now see what is grouping of variables in the expression. In the first law, let's take an OR operator. So, A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. Okay. This odd combination, odd with C, is equal to A odd with B plus C combination. Okay. And the next law, it is A dot B dot C is equal to A dot B dot C. In this expression, see, to implement this expression, A, B are odd, right? A, B are odd, and this combination is odd with C. This gives an expression Y. Let's take the expression is Y. This is equivalent to B plus C are odd first, and then the output is odd with A. The output is odd with A. So this law says that the both the logic gates gives the same output. So this law allows the grouping of variables. It allows the grouping of variables. Now in the AND law also, AND combination of these variables also, see, A, B are ANDed first, and then the C is ANDed. This is the equivalent circuit for this expression. Now we will see the expression for this. This is nothing but BC are ANDed first, and then the combination is ANDed with A again. So in the both cases we get the same output Y. Okay. For understanding this, you can go for truth table verification also. So in the both cases, the grouping doesn't change the functionality. So it allows the grouping of variables. Now move on to the last law of today's discussion, that is distributive law. So this is very important and typical law of this Boolean algebra. We deduce some other laws or application laws in the Boolean laws, which will be discussed in the next session. So understanding this law, what is a distribution law? It allows factoring and multiplying out of expression. So from that, we can understand that from the first law, A dot B plus C. This expression can be written as, by multiplying out of expression A dot B plus A dot C. Okay. This means that BC are odd. Okay. BC are odd, and this output is ANDed with A. This output is ANDed with A. This is our output Y. Let's take this is our output Y, and it is equal to the AND combination of these two. So these two ANDed variables are together to give the same output Y. So what the first law says? Multiplying out of expression. So A dot B plus C is nothing but A dot B plus A dot C. So this distributive law allows us to multiply out of expression. Now coming to the second law of distribution law, okay, this is important. A plus BC. A plus BC is equal to A plus B dot A plus C. So this particular law allows us factoring of variables. So A plus B dot C is equal to A dot B and A dot C. So it allows us to factoring of the variables. Let's see how this happens. So let's take in the RHS. This is nothing but A plus B dot A plus C. From the first law, we can multiply out of the expression, that is A dot A plus A dot A dot C plus B dot A and B dot C. So here in A dot A, otherwise in these three terms, see in these three terms you can take A as common. So at first A dot A is nothing but, from AND rule, any variable ended with itself is nothing but the variable itself. So this is from AND rule. So this A dot A can be written as A only. So AC plus AB or BA plus BC. Okay. In this expression, you can take out A as common in these three terms. So taking A as common, so 1 plus C plus B plus BC. From our rule, 1 plus anything, 1 plus any variable is 1 only. So 1 plus B plus C can be written as 1. So A dot 1 plus BC. Okay. A dot 1, again from AND rule, anything, any variable is ended with 1 is nothing but the variable itself. So this can be written as A plus BC. A plus BC, nothing but our LHS. So this law states that factoring this law allows us the factoring of variables. A plus BC is nothing but A plus B dot A plus C. So in this session we have learned about what is the Boolean algebra and what is a Boolean function and its terminology, like Boolean expression and term, what is a term, and what are the variables and what are the literals. Okay, literals are nothing but variables and its complement. So if a expression contains, if a function contains n variables, then it contains the possible literals the function can have are 2n, 2 into n. And next to that we entered into Boolean algebraic laws. So we discussed some of the laws of Boolean algebra today. Those are AND law, OR law, and complement law, associative law, commutative law, and distributive law. And the rest of the laws we will discuss in the next session. Thank you.